So here we have the answer again, DCBA, but again, let's not bother much about it. Can statement A start the paragraph? The answer is no. A says, but for the most part, the resemblances are far-fetched. That means basically you must have some kind of resemblances discussed already. Only then this sentence would make sense. But the conjunction, but again, is not likely to start a new paragraph, and the resemblance also must be introduced. So A cannot start the paragraph. B says, the old traditions associated with each constellation, a figure often drawn from classical, which was supposed, the old traditions associated with each constellation, a figure often drawn from, which was supposed to, thus Ursa is, it's not making any grammatical sense. Something is wrong with this. The old traditions associated with each constellation figure, often drawn with a class, which was supposed the old traditions associated with, okay, the old traditions associated with each constellation figure often drawn, so basically this is a modifier, so fine. So the old traditions associated with each constellation figure often drawn from classical mythology, which was supposed to be suggested by the grouping of the stars. Thus Ursa Major is a great bear. Again, we don't know, so there is no resemblance. Again, when you read this, you feel that okay, what exactly is going on? You don't get the clarity. The boundaries assigned to constellations near the South Pole are much more smooth and regular, since this part of the sky, invisible to the peoples from whom we inherit, was not studied and mapped until more modern times. So again, this looks like an opening statement. Very well. It says here, the boundaries assigned to constellations near the South Pole are much more smooth and regular. But look at D. D says the division of the sky into constellations dates back to the most primitive times. So is this likely to be an opening statement, or is this likely to be an opening statement? This question we must ask ourselves. D says the division of the sky into constellations dates back to the most primitive times. C says the boundaries assigned to constellations. That means basically here you are introducing the historical significance of the constellations, and you are basically introducing the idea as to when the boundaries basically were defined. So it says here the division of the sky into constellations dates back to the most primitive times, long before the Christian era, and the crooked and irregular boundaries of these constellations are an inheritance from antiquity, confounded and made worse in its descent to our day. The boundaries assigned, so basically the boundaries has been discussed, the constellations have been introduced, so D is a better start. And the boundaries assigned, so the boundaries idea is taken ahead in statement C. It says the boundaries assigned to constellations near South Pole are much more smooth and regular since this part of the sky, right? But then it says the old traditions associated with each constellation. So the old traditions associated with each constellation a figure, right? Why this should come after A? Because if you look at this, the Ursa Major is a great bear stalking across the sky with the handle of the dipper for its tail. Leo is lion, a lady in a chair. Andromeda, a maiden chained to a rock. But for the most part, the resemblances are far-fetched. What are these resemblances? The maiden chained to a rock, the lady in a chair, Leo is a lion. These are the resemblances. That means basically BA is the pair. So I have no other way but to have DCBA because BA cannot start. So BA is one pair, DC is the other pair, but because DC is broader, we must have DCBA as the right answer and not BA DC, which would make the entire thing incorrect.